This is the best stock CPU cooler ever made, the Wraith Prism from AMD. In a previous video, I tested the Intel RM1 stock cooler that comes with all of their non-K CPUs, and to be honest, it was a real disappointment. It's crazy to me that they even include that cooler all the way up till the Intel i7 series that has 20 cores and can pull 220 watts. So the fact that AMD has actually made a premium CPU cooler that comes with some of their non-X CPUs, which is their equivalent of Intel's non-overclockable series, is super refreshing. The Wraith Prism was originally released all the way back in 2018 with the Ryzen 2000 series CPUs, but sadly, it was recently discontinued in August of 2025. There's a couple of reasons why this cooler is infinitely better than its Intel counterpart or even the base version from AMD, the Wraith Stealth. The Stealth has been included in the Ryzen 3 and 5 series for several CPU generations, where the TDP is typically between 45 and 65 watts. While the Wraith Prism was the exclusive to Ryzen 7 and 9 CPUs like the 5900 or the 7700. So what makes this cooler so superior to the other stock coolers? Well, first, it has RGB. Enough said. Roll the credits. Okay, just kidding. Here's the real reason. 2 words, heat pipes. All premium high-quality air coolers have this feature in common. They all utilize copper heat pipes to help dissipate heat away from the CPU. A really cheap cooler typically will just use a solid block of aluminum with fins and a fan to pull air across those fins to help dissipate heat. Let's get just a little extra nerdy here to explain the purpose of fins on a cooler in general. There's 2 reasons for this. The heat transfer from a solid to the air is varied by a couple of things, 2 of which are directly related to the actual geometry. First is the thickness. The thinner the material, the less distance the heat has to travel through that material to get from the hotter side to the cooler side. So, by being thin, that means that the conductive heat transfer through that material, or in this case, a cooler, is higher. Second, and more importantly, is the surface area. The formula for convective heat transfer is Q equals HA delta T. Q is the heat transfer rate in watts, H is the convective heat transfer coefficient of the material, A is the exposed surface area of that material, and delta T is the difference in temperature between the material and the ambient air. Getting back to the fins, adding several fins drastically increases the exposed surface area of the aluminum, and from the formula I just showed, that equates to a direct multiplier of the amount of heat you can transfer away from the cooler. Additionally, those fins allow you to push air in between those gaps, which will further increase your heat dissipation through what's called forced convection. While a metal block with fins is a tried and true technology, it's limited by the conductive and convective heat transfer of the material used. For aluminum, that's roughly 237 watts per meter Kelvin in conductive heat transfer. That means a 1 meter block of aluminum can transfer 237 watts of heat for every degree of temperature difference between each side. On the other hand, the Wraith Prism utilizes 3 different design aspects to improve that heat transfer rate. First, they use copper instead of aluminum to directly transfer the heat from the CPU. Copper has a conductive heat transfer rate of 385 watts per meter Kelvin, and that's a 60% increase just based on the material selection. Next, the thickness of the copper is significantly lower than the block of aluminum. And in that equation for heat transfer, the lower the thickness, the more heat you can transfer. And thirdly, is the technology that we refer to as heat pipes. This is actually a really cool, pun intended, technology, and here's how it works. Inside each of these copper tubes is a small amount of liquid, and as heat is added to the copper tubes, it gets transferred to that liquid. Now stick with me here because we're about to get a little more nerdy, and my little engineer brain just goes nuts for this stuff. After enough heat is absorbed by the liquid, it goes through a phase change from liquid to gas. And if you didn't know, phase changes require a ton of energy. To illustrate just how much of a difference this is, water has a heat capacity of roughly 4 joules per gram C. So it takes 4 joules of energy to increase a single gram of water by 1 degree. However, to change phases, that same gram of water takes 2,260 joules. So that phase change soaks up a ton of energy in the form of heat. Once the liquid becomes a gas, it expands to the rest of the copper tube, where that heat is then dissipated through the copper to the steel fins that you see here on the cooler. And then it goes out to the air. Okay, nerd session done. So now that you know what makes this cooler so much better, let's do a direct comparison of the Wraith Stealth versus this cooler. To do this, we'll be utilizing a CPU I have on hand, which in this case is a Ryzen 9 7950X. To be honest, neither of these coolers are really designed to withstand the full 230 watts that the CPU is capable of, so it may be a race to see which cooler can maintain the highest power output of the CPU rather than the lowest temperature. For setup, we'll be setting both of the cooler fans to 100% just to give them the best chance of keeping the CPU nice and chilly. And for the stress test, we'll be using OCCT on normal mode, and we'll be measuring the temperature and power consumption at 1 minute, 10 minutes, and 20 minutes of runtime. And we'll be using our open air test bench to make sure it has maximum cooling capability. Let's get to installing and testing. All right, first up is our baseline, the Wraith Stealth. And here's the results. The CPU very quickly reached 95 degrees C, which is the thermal throttle limit, and after 1 minute, we were down to just 123 watts using our AMD Wraith Stealth. At 10 minutes, we were at 113 watts, and at 20 minutes, we were still right around 113 watts. So, next, the star of the show, the Wraith Prism. Commence testing! Okay, let's compare the numbers. So at 1 minute, the Wraith Prism was at 166 watts compared to 123 for the Wraith Stealth. And it just gets better from there. At 10 minutes, we were still at 165 watts, and at 20 minutes, it had settled at 163 watts. So that's a pretty stark difference between the Wraith Stealth and really what the Intel RM1 stock cooler would be at, and the Wraith Prism. So all that technology that we talked about, it really does make a difference. And there you have it. Those numbers just prove my point. The Wraith Prism is still the best stock CPU cooler ever made, and it can now fade off into the sunset with its chin held high.